All right, guys. So I want you guys to be aware. So I walked around to each of you, and you guys picked whether or not it was going to be hidden or not, and all of you decided which access point you're going to choose from, and then you started to kind of locate it on the site. So right now, what I want to talk to you guys about is a little bit of the decision-making process that can go into how you might locate it on your site, how it might adjust the position. So there's kind of two scenarios with this site that come to mind. One of them is, I guess I should probably hold this up here so I can reference it. All right. So in one particular case, we have this road that kind of goes like this, and it goes straight, and then it goes around like that, and then it comes down, right? So and right here is where access point number 1 is, access point here number 2, and access point number 3 is right here. And I've kind of exaggerated it, but there is, between this arc and this arc, there is a straight line section. It's very short, okay? So if you look on your drawing, you'll see it. It's right between the two. It's actually only about that long, okay? So one of the things that you as a designer can do is to try to utilize the path, right, to create this kind of visual cone for you. So if you are using access point number 3, the next thing that I would suggest that you do, and I'm gonna draw this as with a width. The next thing that I would suggest that you do is find that straight line segment and take a ruler, right, and find the straight part. So notice I'm not doing this, I'm not doing this, I'm lining it up so that it's tangential to the straight part. And what I would suggest you guys do is to run a line straight down that path coming into your site, okay? Because here's the deal. Try to picture yourself as a person. Try to imagine what you're seeing. You're climbing up this hill, right? And then there's a steep rampart right here of dirt. And so you kind of come around the corner, right? And now you're facing away from where you're putting your building if it's back here. Then you kind of come over here and you're still not looking at it. Then you come around here and there's a bunch of trees. And now you're coming between the trees. And as you're walking this way, if you utilize that line, right? It's like saying, oh, I'm walking, and this thing is right in front of me. Okay? You're using an axis line. So the first day of class, we talked about axes, right? Remember, we sat the 5 people around the points, and we drew the lines that are still down on the floor between stuff. You're using an axis line as a line of sight, okay? And so what you place at the building, what you're seeing directly in front of you, is really important. And so one consideration is to locate your building so that that line of sight terminates kind of in the middle of one of the recesses that you're going to have to make. Okay? Because where this gets now mixed with the next step is, the next step is going to be to locate your entry porch, right? And remember that with the entry porch, there's variables. The entry porch, what can you guys tell me about the entry porch? Can it go anywhere? No? Where's it got to go? Which elevation, which face of the building does it have to go on? It has to go to the east. Can it go in the middle here? It has to go to one corner or the other. Right? So those are all things that have been thrown in there so that you kind of you start to figure out, okay, I can do this, but I can't do this, and you have to start to make decisions. What we're trying to do with this project prompt is get you to make decisions. Okay, so it's got to go to a corner. So by understanding that you have this line of sight and that you've decided to put your building over here, the logical thing is to utilize that line of sight so that your building and the porch work on that line of sight. So you don't want to make your building to where it is over here, right? Because now it's like, oh, you're walking this way, but the building's kind of over there. You're trying to kind of emphasize the fact that you're walking right at this thing, okay? And I warned you guys at the beginning that this is very scripted, right? There's not a lot of flexibility in the places that you put your building, and that's done on purpose. It's done on purpose because I'm not asking you guys to really think about the design as much as I am asking you to engage the process of decision making. Okay? So by doing this, you are creating an axial approach to the building. Okay? And your line of sight is going to line up squarely in the middle of that first recess. Okay, so there's one scenario. Another scenario is going to be where you place the building hidden from view. So the trees are kind of here, and there's some more trees over here. And so from this edge of the road to the trees, right, your building can't straddle that line. Your building has to be on one side or the other of it. Okay? So the access point number 2 is kind of shifted up around the corner. So no matter where you place your building, let's say that you place your building back here, you're going to have to develop a walkway, right, that comes in from the dirt between those two things, and then creates a straight-on approach to your entry porch. And your entry porch can go on that side, or it can go on the other side. You decide where you're going to put that path, and that path is at a 90-degree angle, right? So this is 90 degrees to the face of the building. Does that make sense? Okay. So the last one, I'll erase this stuff because the last access point is this one down in here. So for this one, it requires a couple of specialized things that you got to think about. Okay. For starters, this one requires that you understand that you have to build a staircase that leads up to the level. You guys won't actually have to do that. You don't have to worry about it. Just, you're going to say it's there. Maybe draw it on your site plan. Okay. So you're going to draw the staircase that comes up. And if you're choosing to put your building like here, since the entry porch has to face to the east, you might put it on this corner, right? And then remember how we, in our first spatial subtraction cube, we linked the major cut to a secondary cut that went this way? That creates the thing that you aim for as you come up the stairs. So you come up and you'll go up some stairs or a rampway here, and then you'll turn the corner and enter from the east. Okay? So in the case of this access point and that access point, you're going to have to design the pathway that leads to your building so that it creates that axial approach. In the case of this one, the axis is already determined for you, and you're going to have to place your building so that it works with that axis. Make sense? Okay. So that gives you kind of a synopsis of the 3 access points and where you can place the building and where you can't place the building. All right? All right, I'm going to stop this video.